rewards start to flow. Who is getting paid after CAB3? All right, Murez Babu, welcome back. Pamzinda Webano, pa them Tapa Times, pa YouTube, pa Inside African Network, pa Facebook. So before we jump into this one, hit subscribe, smash that like, and share it. Because today we are following the money. And Murez Babu, the money trail is wild. This is the Tapa Times, fearless, bold, no filter. Let's get into it. Bloomberg dropped a headline this week that says it all in one line. The ink is barely dry on the constitutional amendment that extended Mnangagwa's presidency, and already his backers are being rewarded. Barely dry, family. They didn't even wait for the ink to settle before the envelopes started opening. So let's talk about who is actually getting paid. First stop, the Senate. Under the new powers created by CAB3, Mnangagwa can now appoint 10 additional senators, directly expanding the Senate from 80 to 90 members. And this week, he used that power for the first time. Mnangagwa appointed businessman Kudakwashe Tagbirei along with Javulani Sivanda and 8 others as senators, exercising the new presidential powers created in CAB3. Let that sink in. Kudakwashe Tagbirei, the same Tagbirei who serves as Mnangagwa's personal advisor, the same Tagbirei some analysts have openly floated as a future president, just got handed a Senate seat with a stroke of the pen. No election, no campaign, just a direct appointment from the man he advises. Tagbirei is widely touted as Zimbabwe's next president, having joined active politics only last October through an appointment to ZANU-PF's Central Committee. From Central Committee to Senate in less than a year. That's not a political career, Murez Zimbabwe. That's an elevator. And Tagbirei is not the only name that should stop you in your tracks. Retired Army General Gibson Mashingaidze, the Mashingo War Veterans League provincial chairman, was rewarded for his loyalty and his confrontational approach against retired war veterans who dared to challenge CAB3. Listen to that again. A man was rewarded specifically for going after his own fellow war veterans, the ones who had the courage to oppose the bill. Loyalty to Mnangagwa over loyalty to the very liberation war structures Mashingaidze came up in. That's the price of a Senate seat these days. Then there is Javulani Sivanda, a reincarnated ZANU-PF war veteran and Bulawayo province chairperson whose violent past is well documented, also rewarded with a seat. Zimbabwe. When the appointments list reads like a who is who of loyalty enforcers rather than statesmen, that tells you exactly what currency is being traded here. It's not merit, it's obedience. But senators are just the tip of it. Go back further to how CAB3 actually passed in the first place, because the rewarding didn't start after the bill was signed. It started while MPs were still deciding how to vote. The bill's passage was marked by more than 500,000 public submissions, court challenges, and cryptic public interventions from Chiwenga, but also gifts of Toyota Fortuners and $50,000 US dollars handed by businessmen Wikinochivayo directly to MPs. 50,000 US dollars and a brand new Fortuner to sitting members of parliament before the vote. And it wasn't just MPs. Opposition parliamentarians who voted in favor of CAB3 in the House of Assembly weren't following any strategic party directive. They were either protecting money they had already received or auditioning to be rewarded in the next round of handouts. Auditioning, family. That's the word being used. Zimbabwean lawmakers auditioning for cash like it's a talent show, and Chivayo is holding the microphone. The rewards didn't stop with lawmakers either. Remember, Puprai Togarepi, the ZANU-PF chief whip, Chivayo rewarded him with a brand new vehicle for, quote, bullying the opposition over CAB3. Bullying. That's literally the justification on record. And it goes even further into the fringes. One activist named Tungwarara was awarded 170,000 named by Tungwarara, 170,000 for what he called his role in defending Mnangagwa on the heels of an earlier $200,000 cash donation and a top-of-the-range vehicle handed to another activist, Rutendo Matinyarare. $200,000, $170,000, cars, all following to people whose entire job description seems to be defending the president online and in public. Some attacking him, some changing, whatever. Even lawyers close to the process are raising eyebrows. Prominent lawyer Tavan Mpov suggested these donations are politically motivated and tied to internal factional tensions. And some party loyalists reportedly fear that this visible flaunting of wealth sends the wrong message to the rank and file. Even people inside the tent are starting to squirm at how blatant this has become. Now, here is the question we have to ask Zimbabwe. If these many rewards are already flowing this openly, senators appointed in days, MPs bought with fortuners and cash before a vote even happened, chief whips getting cars for bullying activists against activists getting six-figure payouts for online loyalty. What does that tell us about what CAB3 actually was? Because if you have to buy this much loyalty, this fast, this publicly, to protect a constitutional change, how strong was the support for that change really? And think about the flip side of this too. Every dollar, every fortune, every Senate seat handed out to a loyalist is a dollar, a vehicle, a seat that could have gone toward roads, hospitals, schools, salaries for teachers and nurses who haven't seen a real increase in years. While ordinary Zimbabweans are out here struggling with the basics, the reward pipeline for CAB3 loyalty is flowing freely and openly with receipts. So here is what we want you to sit with today, Zimbabwe. This isn't just a story about a handful of appointments. This is a blueprint. This is what political survival looks like in Zimbabwe in 2026. Not necessarily winning the argument, not necessarily winning the people, but paying enough of the right people fast enough to make the outcome inevitable before anyone can organize against it. Who do you think gets rewarded next? And more importantly, who is going to be left out in the cold once the money runs dry and the loyalty bill comes due? Drop your thoughts below, like this video, share it with someone who needs to see where the money is really going, and make sure you are subscribed, because panapa at Mira. See you in the next one. Ndinwenyu super. Peace.